Hey y'all. So I want to talk about something, and it's basically real simple. It goes back to transmutation, energetic confrontation, and allowing symbolism, you could say, or I will say, so energetic confrontation and allowing symbolism. There's a tremendous amount of resistance to this. I've experienced this in my own life, and I've seen this in other people's experience as well when it comes up. We all have our certain roles, histories, narratives to integrate, our own, you could say, stories to integrate, our own lives, this life and previous lives before. And the integration of these things is very difficult in a sense. So it's already extremely difficult just to integrate energetically what seems to be correlative with this life. And then at a point, if you start to become aware of things on a greater magnitude, there can be that resistance or second guessing. We want to come back. We want to be able to explain and fit inside a certain narrative that we've been comfortable with. There's a mosquito about to crawl over the camera. This is interesting. It's like right there. Maybe not. You might see a leg. Oh, there, that little flash right there. That was a little leggy leg. He's trying to block me. Oh. He just got, I think I got him. But anywho, so that resistance, when that comes up, because we can be used to dealing with energy on an energetic, vibrational, raw level, whatever level that seems to come up as, right? You can be used to that and really experience and adept at that practice. And you can do that until the cows come home. But it's the same thing with that. And if there's a correlative thing with this life, if you can be aware of it and still just going through that cycle, and that energy is coming back up, right? And so it's really, about also allowing, but then allowing to see the story, the narrative, and where did that seem to originate and come from. And if we don't, when we let go and get to a certain point, the resistance to this is going to come up naturally. We're going to start to recognize this resistance, and then there can be more revealment and recognition, cognition, remembrance that comes. And then this brings its new level of energetic resistance. And if we really are honest with ourselves, this doesn't take a lot to see. We however this seems to arise, if there seems to be certain presentations that fit, that are, in our psyche, that are, mythological or supernatural, right? And these presentations start to become more and more real, you could say, on a certain level, embodied, right? We become aware of these presentations of energy, of thought forms, of beings that we have denied. We've denied and chose to ignore, you could say. And at a certain point, the capacity to ignore that is no longer going to be comfortable. And here's the paradox: at the same time, neither is, the embracement, right? And so then we seem to be at a juxtaposition, a crossroads. And that's where that, that energetic confrontation comes in, because it's like, all right, well, you can't go backwards, you can't go forward. You can seem to stay for a little while. You might be able to stay inactive, or you might be able to choose, a path of, whatever, and that's fine. I'm not, I don't want to say a path of ignorance. I just want to say a different path. You want to choose a different path, or just, create in a certain way and have fun and express and enjoy. And I'm not going to take away from that. I'm not going to say anything's wrong with that. That there's just going to have to be a certain level of just commitment to that if certain things want to continue to not be looked at and faced and ignored, and they want to be ignored in that way. It is what it is. That's fine. But if that resistance is coming up, what do we do? What's What's the course of action? Well, it's the same thing. You just embrace it. It's like it's the same presentation, just because it's a new presentation on a different whatever level or sub-level of reality. I kind of refer to it as like the recognition of like the astral realms. If you look at even astronomy, astrology, where's that come from? And yeah, so it's like that awareness of that astral presentation of reality that has influenced the 3D presentation, because that's also related to the 4D. And so we're stepping into our magnitude of that, and as that relates also to our magnitude in that I'm trying to catch mosquitoes, I don't let the parasites eat off me. But I mean, that I do, they get me every once in a while. But so yeah, stepping into that magnitude of that remembrance, that non-linear remembrance of life, and our spotting that, and the awareness of these simultaneous lives, roles, how they relate to now, how they seem to be correlative with choices now. We might not always be aware of that. You don't need to be aware of that, but it's just about that faith and trust, and stepping into that truth and that stability on whatever level that seems to show up at, right? Because we can step into that, this is an illusion, it's an illusion. But okay, why are you scared of the illusion? Why are you afraid of embracing an illusion on whatever level you're being called to embrace it at? What's up with that? And so, these were things I was faced with, and I had to get honest about in myself, and I had to call myself out. I was called out. I was calling myself out to look at these things and be honest. It's like, do you believe in this? Are you still just trying to escape? Do you want to ignore? Do you not want to look at what this is energetically pointing to? Are you afraid that people are going to call you crazy? What is it? What's going on? And so at that point, it's like, all right, well, let's be honest, dive in. Let's get it. Whatever shows up, wherever, the consciousness seems to travel, whatever thought form seems to show up in front of me, its presentation, whether it presents itself as loving a guide, an ascended master, or whether it's some type of demonic thought form or entity that wants to hinder or try to stop your progress, or as you see has been tampering in some way. And this may show up. I mean, we want to deny certain things and stories, and we want to believe in our stories and cultures up into a point, right? We want to believe in all the histories and the magic up into a point, up into where we are called to step into the reality of that. So then, what do you believe? What do you live in? What's really showing up in your experience? Are you being honest about that? Are you stepping into that? Are you embracing that? Or are you walking away? And that's fine. If you're walking away, you're probably not listening to this, so it doesn't really matter. But it's like, these were crossroads and choices I was faced with, and it's like, oh my God, what am I doing? What do I need to do? And it's like, right there, it's like, oh man, that childlike simplicity is like, well, just flow with it. Just flow with it, and be willing to face life in whatever way that it shows up, whatever new way life presents itself. Whatever way reality, perception seems to evolve. And there's the beauty, there's the freedom, there's the excitement, there's the joy. Fearlessness. The embodiment of love and wisdom. Balance. So, that's it. Step into it, embrace it. Be the light, be the love, be the truth, be the way, be the life. Share that, spread that, give that. Allow others to be that. I'll allow you to be that. Thank you. Peace and love. Bye.